morning. This week we are going to completely discuss of the second part of modern India. Already discussed of 1498 to 1857. That is nearly 250-year-old history. And in Spectrum book and even our institute material, it covers at most for 400 page. And the next 250 page is exclusively of 1857 and later part. In this, I have already given the chapters, everything. So nothing new to introduction of this. Even 1857 revolt itself is a second part. But for our convenience, for demarcation, we discussed it in the first part. Because of the maladministration of the British, that is the English East India Company, from 1757 to 1857, in North India, almost all the people started to rise in the name of 1857 revolt. After that, the company's rule was come to an end. Company was not ended. In 1858, as per the Queen's proclamation, company was not ended, company's rule was ended. Company continued to function from London and had continued its commercial activity and political activity in other part of the world, but not in India. This is important. Many are wrongly have an idea that in 1858 company was ended. Wrong. Company was never ended in 1858. Company's rule in India alone was ended. Okay, then in which year company was abolished is near the Queen's proclamation. Go back to Queen's proclamation and any of the margin, put a box and write it. Company was winded up in 1878. That is simply 1870s. So only in 1870s, company's complete activities was ended. That's all. What happened actually is company shares, everything were purchased by the British Crown. The British government itself, it's simply called nationalization. With this, no East India Company in 1870s. So 1858 Act and Queen's proclamation, company's rule in India was ended. That's all. Okay, this is the first major in the name of Queen's proclamation. We already discussed Queen's proclamation. Based on the Queen's proclamation, second what happened, 1858 revolt, 1858 Act we discussed. That we discussed. Correct? 1858. And based on that, we discussed 1861. Have we discussed 1858? No, we just discussed of Queen's proclamation, yes? Queen's proclamation. We just, I opened the topic Queen's proclamation, that's all, yes? Yes, okay, okay. So here, in the second part, I have already given the syllabus. The first thing is the Queen's proclamation, right? What happened in the Queen's proclamation? One by one we will discuss. So 1858, November 1, 1858, the Queen's proclamation. So what are all the major thing? Under 4 to 5 subtopic we will discuss. You see that first major change is Queen's proclamation. Don't write. Second major change is 1858 Act. Third major change is 1861 Act. So likewise, some major changes we will discuss about that. In this, I just opened Queen's proclamation. Who was the Queen? Is Queen Victoria I. She proclaimed. What is the first point? Write it. End of company's rule in India. Company was not ended. That's why I discussed end of company's rule. Okay, instead who is going to rule? That we will discuss. Okay, it's a first point. Second point. That's why I said Queen's proclamation over. Right. 1858. That I have to start. So I discussed end of company's rule. Second thing is no more racial discrimination, no more annexation. That part I myself discussed it. So Queen's proclamation we discussed it, right? What is the thing is, listen, mere proclamation is not necessary. You have to put it like an act. consider I am the Prime Minister. I come and while interacting with 358 people or 360 plus people, you are requesting that please increase the number of seats in IASR. I accepted. As a Prime Minister, I accepted and proclaimed in this class. Definitely number of seats in IAS should be increased. Mere acceptance is not adequate. I have to go. I have to convene my cabinet. I have to discuss with them. Not only that, if necessary, I have to move a bill before Parliament. Parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, should accept it. Likewise, if I said proclamation, the proclamation to be implemented, then it should be moved as a bill and it should be moved as an act, become as an act. That's whatever the proclamation later was brought a bill and became an act called 1858 Act. So second major change, you write it. Government of India Act 1858. Government of India Act 1858. Okay. Simple. What is Government of India Act? If you know Queen's Proclamation, Government of India Act is CC. Whatever mentioned in Queen's Proclamation that were just elaborated and was given lawful means, that is called 1858. First point, you write it. End of company's rule. Okay. End of company's rule mean then who is going to rule? Continue the point. Instead, Crown would rule India. So hereafter, who would rule India is Crown. It's the first point. Okay. End of company. Company means who are the two greatest authority in the company? You see that we already discussed COD. We already discussed, and a government body also which looked after the company. Correct? COD, BOC. COD, BOC we already discussed. Next point. Write it. Both COD and BOC lost their power. Point number 2. Both COD and BOC lost power. We already discussed. COD, how many people? 24 people. BOC, how many people? 6 people. This much of people, right, ruled India from London. But now such a things, power is abolished means, sir, then who is going to take all these administrative measures instead of COD and BOC from London? Because both institute were functioned from London. So now both lost power. Then who is going to administer India from London is, you write it, a new office called SYS. A new office, that is Secretary of State of India, was created. Secretary of State of India, SYS, was created in London. Everything in London. In the rank of cabinet, what was his position? What post? What authority? Is cabinet. It means that his position is equal to cabinet minister. Okay, so secretary was created. Okay, sir. A person called SYS, such a post was created. 1. Listen, here 24 member, here 6 member, 30 members. The 30 members were replaced with 1. Sir, how was it possible? How could one could look after entire activity? That's why next point you write, to assist SYS, a 15-member council was appointed in London. A 15-member council was appointed in London. See, we are discussing everything in London. So hereafter, you always keep it in mind, SYS and his council. You write like this. SYS and his council, otherwise 1 plus 15. 1 plus 15. Your London. Don't confuse with Governor General and his council. That is 1 plus 4, or that is 1 plus 5. That is in India. That is in Calcutta. That too in Fort Williams. That institute dates back to 1773 Act. In the 1773 Act itself, this Kolkata Council was created. But this is as per 1858 Act in London, 1 plus 15. This new office since 1858 is called India Council. Note it down. This is called India Council. Okay, this is very important. Now office was created. Now I will discuss. Right. So this is what the SYS. Right. So who was the first? SYS is the post, not name. Okay, it is a post. President of India, Prime Minister of India. Likewise, it's a post. Okay. Who was the first SYS is Charles Woods. The same person we discussed in Woods Dispatch. The same person. Got it? So in that way, new body was created. Now I will give complete administrative system. Note it down. These are all the basic. So listen, we already discussed Governor General and the Executive Council in India. That is in India. Okay. This was created as per 1773 Act. And below that, governor of each province. Governor also had Executive Council. Governor and his Executive Council. It may be Madras Governor, Bombay Governor, Bengal Governor. If Punjab was created, Punjab Governor, likewise. It's simple. Prime Minister, Council of Minister. Here Chief Minister and Council of Minister. This is in India. Okay. Now, in London, above Governor General, who was the person is SYS. SYS and his council. And his council. This is the hierarchy. It means that who is highest officer? SYS. Then only Governor General. Otherwise, now it's called Viceroy. Okay. Who is Viceroy? We will discuss. So SYS, below that only Viceroy. This SYS, what is the position of the SYS? Cabinet member. Cabinet minister mean responsible to whom? Prime Minister. Prime Minister, above that who is the head? Crown. In India now it is called President. Right. In British no President rather than Crown. That's all. This is the administrative hierarchy. So Crown, Prime Minister, SYS, that is related to India. SYS office in London, Viceroy or the Governor General office in Calcutta, Governor office in each province. This is the administrative hierarchy that functioned till independence. So keep it in mind. What I am saying is, later in 1919 we will discuss Montague-Chelmsford reform. Then who is Montague? Why Chelmsford? Why not Chelmsford-Montague reform? You may ask question logically. Why? Always SYS highest officer. So Montague, SYS. Chelmsford, Viceroy. So Montague-Chelmsford. 1909 Act. Marley-Minto Reform Act. Should not say Minto-Marley. Minto-Marley wrong. Why? Marley is SYS, highest officer, first mentioned. Next is Minto. Minto is Viceroy. Viceroy is below to SYS. Likewise, you have to discuss. You have to know of this. This is the administrative structure. Got it? Next point of 1858 Act is Governor General of India was given additional post, not replaced, was given additional post. What is additional post is Viceroy. So it means that he was not only Governor General of India, at the same time he functioned as Viceroy also. This is the difference when compared to previous act. What is the first thing? Which act changed Governor to Governor General of Bengal, type. Which act changed Governor General to Governor General of Bengal? Regulating Act 1773. Who was the first Governor General of Bengal? Warren Hastings. Which act changed, renamed Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India? (1833). Is there Charter Act? 1833 Charter Act changed Governor General of Bengal name to Governor General of India. That is, Lord William Bentinck was the first Governor General of India. But here, no renamed. Rather than already Governor General post was there, along with that he was given another power. What is another post is Viceroy. That is a single person but two posts. So what is the meaning of Viceroy? Already discussed. Viceroyal. While discussing Raja Ram Mohan Rai, I discussed of that. Viceroy means what? Who assistant of the king is called Viceroy. We already discussed. And who was the first Viceroy? Within bracket you write Lord Canning. Lord Canning, the first Viceroy. Okay, this is important. These are all the major changes of 1858 Act. Second is over. Third major change. Note it down. Third major change is Indian Council Act 1861. Indian Council Act 1861. Actually, this portion is pure polity as well as history, and keep it in mind, without knowing modern India 1857 to 1947, it is difficult to understand polity part. That's why modern India is the foundation, strong foundation, and it's a foundation classes is the modern India class. With this foundation of GS, then only you could put foundation of other subject. Okay, this is very base. Yes, you see that 1858 a major act was passed, and again why government made another act within 3 years, 58, 59, 60, 61, within 3 years another act. Why? Normally 20 years gap would be provided, at least 10 years or 15 years gap, but here what happened is within 3 years another act. Why such a thing means, listen, some negatives in 1858 Act. After enactment of 1858 Act, British consider we committed mistake. What mistake? Why this 1858 Act? Because of 1857 revolt. Revolt happened in India. But if you see that provisions of 1858 Act, major changes were done not in India. Major changes were done in London. Is it right? No, wrong. Why? Problem happened in India in the name of 1857 revolt. So changes to be done in India. But British made major changes in London. SYS, superficial level, Viceroy was changed. Viceroy office was created. Then only British considered, no, we committed mistake. Actual changes to be taken in India that led to a act within 3 years, right? Indian Council Act. It's like this. Wound happened here. Ointment was applied in this hand. No, ointment should be applied here. British realized that led to 1861. This is the third major change. Okay, so what are all the provision of this act? Is first point. Note it down. First is 6 to 10 more Indians were included. 6 to 10 more Indians were included into Viceroy's Executive Council. Viceroy's Executive Council only for what purpose? Type. Whether you are aligned with the previous act or not, I want to check it. Only for what purpose? Type it. What purpose? Law making purpose. Exactly. Super. Only for law making purpose. Underline the word only. Very good. Very good. 1853 we already discussed that. Right. Now I will discuss Viceroy and Executive Council. Now you consider 1 plus 4. Okay. 1 plus 4 altogether 5 member. What was the duty of the 5 member? Carefully listen. Hereafter I would never explain. Both for law making as for law implementation. Law making 5. Law implementation 5. Law? Legalize. Legalize means to make law. Correct. So law making, that's the right one. Okay. So both all the 5 member made the law. At the same time, all the 5 member implemented the law. Implemented the law. But we already discussed 1853 Act. 1853 Act, minimum 3, maximum 4. You consider 4 members were included. Only for law making, this 4 member. What is the strength? 9. Okay, along with the 5 member, here the 4. Only for law member, we already discussed. That is a starting of parliamentary form of government. Even you may cross check in 1853 Act. Already discussed it. Now, 1861 Act says that along with the 9 member, minimum you could add 10 and up to maximum 10. It means that you just consider 8 members were included, means 17 members. Among the 17 member, here the 8 and here the 4 exclusively for what purpose? Law making purpose. So likewise, hereafter Indians were included only for what purposes? Law making purpose, not for law implementation. Actually, law implementation means it's related to cabinet level, ministers level. Here, Indians were not at all included. Not at all included. Understood? So, hereafter, if I set 10 to 16 more Indian, 20 to 25 more Indian, mean automatically your hand should go and exclusively for what purposes? Law making purpose. Simple. Okay, sir. Sir, how these 8 members, how these 4 members were sent? Elected, nominated, selected means no election. Next point. No election. All were nominated. All were nominated. Today, we are sending our Lok Sabha MPs, all were elected, direct elected. For lawmakers, if you see your MP, Moradabad or Murshidabad, right, or Alipur, your MPs are sent directly elected by us. But here, no election. All were nominated people. Now you say, is it a true representation? These Indians were the true representative of the native people? No. They were just a puppet of Lord Canning. They were just a puppet of the British. 6 member, they would elect. Lord Canning would see who is that person, would look after our interest. Okay, come, you are a MP. You come, you are an MP. And what is the purpose? Is this a real representative institution? In that way, 1861 Act was criticized. That is polity point. Understood? So, no election, all were nominated. And next point, you write. Madras, Bombay province, Madras, Bombay province were given power to make their own law. Were given power to make their own law. Their own law by governor and his executive council. So in central level, viceroy and his executive council. In provincial level, governor and his executive council. By governor and his executive council, within bracket you note it down. This is polity based question. This is called decentralization of power. This is called decentralization. No need to discuss of this. Before that, Governor General made all act. Now what happened? Madras government, please make your own law. Bombay government, please make your own law. In this way, powers were devolved and given to the respective provinces for some subject. Even today, you see that each state has its own legislative assembly. Central government, parliament cannot make all the subject, all the wise. It has exclusive power of state government. Likewise, so some powers were given to whom is that is the province, and this cannot be called as division of power. What we will be discussed in polity, don't confuse with the division of power. So some powers were given, governor and executive council in each province make law, make your own law. Likewise, it's happened. Okay, next point. In province also, Indians were included. Indians were included in governor's executive council. In center, viceroy's executive council. Here, governor's executive council. Only for what purpose? The same word. Only for law making purpose. Only for law making purpose. How? In governor executive council, Indians were included. Here I have given figure because only one body. But in here province, so many provinces were there. That's why in each province, right, members, different number of members. For example, in Madras, 10 to 15 members can be included. In Bombay, 20 to 25. In Bengal, very big, 35 to 50 Indian can be included. That's why different members. So I didn't say any particular figure in the case of each province. So in each province also, Indians were nominated only for law making purposes. That's all. So how in governor's executive council, viceroy's executive council, Indians were included for law making. Likewise, in each province, governor's executive council, Indians were included. Okay, 1861 Act, you should know very well. 5861, very base. Here I will discuss some. In polity, in Lakshmikant, you will study something. Club history point and polity point, you will get pakka holistic idea. Understood? Yes, next point. Next point. Everything we are discussing under 1861 Act. This act, that is this act empowers Viceroy to make any decision, to take any decision for easy transaction of government business. Government business means government administration. For easy transaction of government administration. Okay, what kind of power? Never said. Any restriction? No restriction. Any limitation? No limitation. It is up to the governor, viceroy to take any measure. Okay, whatever you want, viceroy, you may take it. So within bracket you write, by using this power, Viceroy Canning introduced a portfolio system in India. I am writing here. Portfolio system. What is portfolio system? Is simple. Cabinet form of government. Understood? Simple. Now, who has the finance portfolio? Nirmala Sitharamanji. Who has the defense portfolio? Rajnath ji. Who has the home? Amit Shah ji. Likewise, in India, cabinet form of government dates back to 1861 Act. In India, parliamentary form of institution date back to 1853 Act. Over. If you don't know these two acts, you cannot study the present day political situation. That's all. We successfully completed the third administrative changes after 1857 revolt. Fourth administrative change. Write it. Fourth administrative change is divide and rule policy. That is British introduced of the divide and rule policy. Yes, divide and rule policy between which two people? Many aspirants are thinking that it was just between Hindu and Muslims. No, it was introduced wherever the British had an opportunity. They used the divide and rule policy, right? So that is also called divide et impera. You write it. Divide et impera. Impera. It's also called divide and rule policy. Many students are thinking it was just used between Hindus and Muslims. No, they used in all the sphere. Between which two people? You write it. First point. Between two religious group. First, divide and rule. Between two religious group. Under that you write Hindu, Muslims, Hindu versus Muslims, Muslims versus Sikh, Sikh versus Hindu. Wherever the religious permutation combination is possible, you just put that one. So under divide and rule, the first thing among various religious group. Okay, it's a first divide and rule under the religious group. Second religious thing is second divide and rule is between castes, not just between two religious group, between two castes within Hinduism itself they used second divide and rule. Okay, especially which caste is upper community versus lower community. Note it down. Upper versus lower. Oh, upper community people, you see here, right? Because of that upper community people, very decent people, join with us. Lower community don't join with, right? Likewise, already in India, we are socially divided. Jadi, caste wise we are divided. That is used by the British. So keep it in mind. We are socially divided because of our customs are different. Such a social division is used for political purpose. This British deliberately used it. Right. So here this is important. That's why this is called divide and rule. So when we are divided socially and caste wise, some politician would use it for their political purpose. Already British used it. Understood? So this is the between two caste group. And third is between urban and versus rural. Urban versus rural group. Oh, urban people, you are so educated. Rural people, country fruits, don't join with them. Okay, you are well educated, don't join with them. Even today you say that some people will be in urban area and they would be overseen, and even they would not join with the people of village. Always would use the Peter English language. Even they would not mingle with that village. If you see that their parents' origin would be in village, but this girl or boy would have been urban, they would not join with the village people. Putting overseen. Nowadays you could say, especially this generation, your generation could easily see such a thing. Right. Already urban rural division is there. That is used by the British. And fourth divide and rule is within Congress. How clever this British, imagine. Within Congress, they used to divide and rule. Between to whom? Congress, moderates and extremists. Note it down. Moderates and extremists. Oh, moderates, you are mild people, very genius, educated people. Come and support the British. That extremist BG Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, these people are the nonsense. Don't join with them. That people are the arrogant people. Likewise, they try to divide moderates and extremists. What I am saying is, normally divide and rule policy means a student would write again and again Hindu Muslim divide. Out of 10 marks, 2 marks would be given. After writing that alone, student would come. I have written good, but no marks. How would you get mark? Divide and rule means this much of divide and rule, and most success of the divide and rule is religious divide and rule, that too between Hindu versus Muslim. This is one portion, and this is not the only portion. And you see that wherever a small gap, they started to use. That's why we used to say, especially in Tamil Nadu, even the cycle gap, flight. Am I right? A small gap is there, they decided to lift a flight. So wherever small gap divide, they used for political purpose. Even I would say, in only one place, the British didn't use that divide and rule, where between husband and wife. Even if a small gap is there, mom, please divorce him. That is your husband, not at all good. I will find a good boy to you. They may rupture the family also, if had they given time, had they been given opportunity. This is called divide and rule. So actually all are 10 mark question. Divide and rule 10 mark question, 1858 Act 10 mark question, 1861 Act 10 mark question. Okay, so fourth is over, divide and rule. And the fifth major change. The fifth major change is military, changes in military. Changes in military. First point is more British into army. More British into army. That is into the British Indian Army. Then how would you say that? More British. You split it. More British, in that you split it. Right. Before revolt, after revolt. Before revolt, after revolt. What was the proportion of the Indian versus British soldiers in that army, British army? So you split into two. One is before revolt. What is the ratio? Is 1:10. Note it down. Ratio is 1:10. After revolt, 1:3. Here 1 is the British, 10 is Indian. So before revolt, if 10 Indians were there in that army, only 1 British. It means that 100 Indian, 10 British. So 90, 100 Indian, 10 British. 100 Indian can easily overpower 10 British. But here, if there is a 3 Indian, there should be 1 British, means number of British was subsequently increased after 1847. Understood? Simple things. So as per this formula, among 100 people in the army, 90 people Indian, 10 alone British. As per this formula, after revolt, right, among 100 soldiers means, right, 1/3 British, 33 British and 66 Indian. So very easy. You could easily manage the Indians. Likewise, in army, there is a change. First point. Second point, in the army, you write divide and rule in army also. Divide and rule principle in army also. Second, divide and rule in army. How divide and rule in army is, under that you write regimentation of army based on region. So regimentation based on region. This is what British followed, especially after 1857 revolt. Okay, listen. What is regimentation based on region is, listen, before 1857, Madras, right, listen, soldiers from Madras, soldiers from Bombay, soldiers from Bengal, all were part and parcel in a single regiment. If you go to a 3rd regiment, 4th regiment, Madrasi, Bengali, Assamese, Punjabis, right, Dalitis, all were there. It means that what would happen? Nationalism would improve. Okay, Madrasi, Bengali, we are all one umbrella. Okay, nationalism. So unity would come before 1857. After 1857, what happened is regimentation based on region means whoever selected into that army from Madras, they were put only in Madras regiment. So if you go to Madras regiment, only Madrasi alone would be there. If you go to a regiment where whoever selected from Bengal, they were put only in Bengali regiment. So Madras regiment, Bengali regiment, Maratha regiment, Kurga regiment, Sikh regiment, regiment wise split means no nationalism. Not only nationalism. If Madrasi regiment revolted, they would simply ask the Gurkha regiment, attack him. Gurkha would say, is any Gurkha people in the Madrasi regiment? No, then let us shoot. I don't know who is Madrasi. But previously it is difficult because Gurkhas were there in all. No, my boy is there. How could I shoot him? Likewise, regimentation based on a region. Understood? So these are all the 5 major changes after 1857 revolt. There is a separate unit in the book. What is the thing is administrative changes after 1857 revolt. One of the biggest topic. Already we discussed administration under company, land revenue system, education, next civil service, and newspaper we discussed, and 5th we discussed this much of big. So listen, many are thinking that history means just war, battle. Have you seen that war and battle? I took just a unit. Apart from that, administrative history I have discussed for 2 class. Socio-religious reform movement 2 class, and economic I discussed. Next we are going to discuss nationalism. So history means if you just consider war, battle, some killing of this much of people, then you are wrong, absolutely wrong, and you are in wrong side. That's why many are thinking, if you consider this is history, right, some portion is social, some portion is economic, some portion is administration, some portion is culture, and only a portion is political. Right, in this political only you are studying about war. Without knowing that only, many a student are thinking that history means just political history. You are absolutely wrong. Okay, UPSC would not ask political history. Who wants political history? They would ask the culture. They would ask the administration. Okay, that's why I'm saying many candidates are studying in wrong way and no questions should come. Then they simply saying that history is the tough subject. You are wrong inside. So you are thinking that it's a tough. One of the easiest subject is the history. And it is the easiest way to understanding of this. Understood? Yes. With this, we successfully completed the unit 1. What is the unit 1? 1857 revolt and its impact. Write the second unit. Yes. What is the second unit? Type. What's the second unit? pre-INC organization are also called regional organization. Pre-INC organization are also called regional organization. Yes, it's the simplest unit. It is a factual one. If you by heart these things, that's all over. These are all the pre-INC and regional organization. So you write it with a line or two gap. Note it down. Nearly 6 to 7 organizations are there. Right. 2 minutes or 3 minutes I will give this. You note it down and just leave 1 or 2 lines. 1 or 2 lines so that I can add some more points. Once this 5 is over, just said okay or in the type it so that I can turn into next. Once completed the 4, just thumbs up in the chat box. If majority is okay, then move on to next slide. 2018 question from this part only. If you have written down, that's all, this unit is over. Don't write this part. Okay, this is also okay. You note it down. Just gap of 2 or 3. Because if you don't know this regional organization, you can't study INC initial phase, especially the moderate phase. Shall we start? Yes. See the Landlords Association. If you see that some are in Bombay, some in Madras, some in Calcutta. Why? These provinces are the earliest area where British conquer and British maladministrations were excavated in this area. So many regional organizations and leaders were born in this area. Simple. Okay. So many organizations functioned before Indian National Congress. I had to discuss about Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress was not started overnight. It was culmination of small organization and at last Indian National Congress at 1885. This is Landlords Association. Simple. Dwaraknath Tagore. Why? To protect the interest of the landlords. Very easy. Just to protect the interest of the landlords, this association was started. It's a first point. Okay, that's why I ask. And Dwaraknath. Who was Dwaraknath? His grandfather. Actually, Dwaraknath Tagore, his son is Devendranath Tagore. We already discussed Devendranath Tagore, Tattva Bodhani Patrika. We discussed. His son is Devendranath Tagore. Devendranath Tagore's son is Rabindranath Tagore. So, who was Dwaraknath is grandfather of Rabindranath. Very rich family. Tagore family is very rich family in Calcutta region. If you are from Bengal, you knew very well. Supriyo is there. You may knew Tagore, especially present day Bangladesh part, they are very famous. Okay, so Calcutta. Second is Madras Native Association by Lakshmi Narasu Chetty. Lakshmi Narasu Chetty, actually this is one of the earliest, even when compared to landlord society wanted to protect the interest of the landlords, but here is wanted to protect all the people. This is different. Native. Here landlord, but here native people interest. One genuine attempt was made by Lakshmi Narasu Chetty. His full name is Gujalo Lakshmi Narasu Chetty. Present day he belonged to Andhra Pradesh. So he made an attempt. Very famous. Already question. This is what 2018 preliminary question. And East India Association, London, Dadabhai Nauroji. You see that this organization and this organization were in London. Why in London? SOS office, Prime Minister office, Crown, all were in London. Rather than simply shouting before Viceroy in London, in India, Viceroy lowest officer. Why should we shout in front of Viceroy? Let us straight away go and let us shout in London, where SOS, Crown were there. That's why some associations were started in London also before Indian National Congress. So in this, Dadabhai Nauroji, the very famous person, he is famously called the Grand Old Man of India. Note it down. Grand Old Man. Grand Old Man of India. First. Second, he was a Parsi, that's the other point. Next is, he was first Indian into the British Parliament as an MP. So he was an MP, British Parliament MP, but an Indian. So first Indian in become a British Parliament MP is this Dada Banerjee. He was not only the first Indian, he was the first Asian in the entire Asian continent, the first person to represent in British Parliament, not from India. He was representing from British constituency, Salisbury. There is a constituency. There is a constituency called Salisbury. From the Salisbury constituency, he was sent as MP. It's like Pune or Jalna right constituency. Likewise here, Gwalior likewise. Dada Banerjee, very famous figure. East India Association. Next is Indian Society, 1870s by Surendranath Banerjee. London. We already discussed Surendranath Banerjee. Any information regarding Surendranath Banerjee? Type it. We already discussed. How far do you remember? Let me check it. ICS, correct. In ICS we discussed. He was elected as yeah, exactly. Super. Exact. Who? Okay. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Many. No need. Right. Exactly right. He wrote exam and became ICS officer, but because of age factor, over age, he was dismissed from that. So immediately he started an organization called Surendranath Banerjee. Without knowing this, you can't study moderates, extremists. Surendranath Banerjee up to 1920s he was there. Okay. Here, normally a student would not study. After 1857 revolt, a student would straight away come to Congress. Even to the Congress, they would not study moderates, extremists. They would simply go to Swadeshi movement, then straight away would go to non-cooperation movement or Champaran Satyagraha. Here, our student should get more score. Okay, so here it's important. The same calculation method. First class, what I said. I am taking class not to answer 30 question. Out of 100, 30 question I answered, sir. 30 questions are correct. Then what is your score? 60. That is out of 200. For this purpose, you are not coming to the class. Even if you don't come to the class, you can answer 30 questions. You are coming to the class to get 50 plus out of 100. It means that 100 plus. For this purpose, you are coming to class. It means that and you are coming to class for another 20 mark, another 20 question, where you could get another 20 question when compared to other student, this area. Okay, in this area only, you are jumping ahead of 1 like this, and you will clear prelims, other would not. Okay, and don't say, sir, I correctly answered 30 question out of 100. All would answer 30 question. All would answer 25 question out of 100 question. Then you are not a good. Whoever answer 50 plus, 51 plus, 52 plus, 55 plus, here only the real competitor. I am taking class for this. One of that chapter to get more score here. Okay. Yes. Now, East India Association, Surendranath Banerjee over. Next, Indian Association, Calcutta, Surendranath Banerjee. Later, you see that Surendranath Banerjee came to Calcutta, that is India, his native, and Anand Mohan Bose both started. And this Indian Association is very, very important association because first point you write, it is the most powerful association before INC. So INC was started in 1885. Before INC, which association was most famous is this association. First point. Second point. Yes, it conducted civil services agitation. It conducted civil services agitation against government. Then why did they conduct civil services hartal or civil services agitation? Type. What is the reason? Age relaxation. Super. Then age relaxation. Super. In another one. Only one. Examination to be held in India. Super. Because that were the problem. Age. What was the maximum age? 23. I said. Exams were held only in London. So please simultaneously conduct the exam in India also, as well as please relax the age 30 or 35. For that purpose, they conducted civil services agitation. So here I told civil service agitation. Along with that, you have to link it from where is the civil services that unit. That's why I'm saying history is the pure continuity. Understood? So keep it in mind. This part will be highly. Modern India is over. GS mains paper 1 40% over, 40% 30% over modern India portion, and prelims wise history part 50% over, because in GS, right, preliminary modern India, ancient, medieval, art and culture. Ancient, medieval, political wise they would not ask question, only thing is art and culture. So only two component, one is modern India, another is art and culture. Here a 7 question, here a 5 question. Sometimes would change. Here a 10, right? Here a 6, likewise. And here political wise 1 or 2 question. So one is modern India. You have to completely and thoroughly you have to study. Understood? Actually, 2 portions are important. Modern India, art and culture. If you thoroughly study prelims history over, and if you know this mains history over, only you have to study PIC part, and another is world history. That is for exclusively for mains. That you could easily manage it. Understood? So please be here. It will be highly helpful. Okay. And this Indian association is important. And next is Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. Yes. And another one, Indian association. Have we discussed elsewhere? Indian association? Type. I already discussed somewhere. Exactly. It supported Pavana movement. Note it down here. Yes, exactly. It supported Pavana movement. Exactly. Super. Yeah. This is what I want. And especially for history optional student, don't leave this classroom, because I would not discuss this modern India exclusively in optional. The same. Only few topics alone we will discuss, which is not included here. Okay. So here is Pavana movement. Superb. And come to Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. M.J. Ranade, G.V. Joshi, Chipalungar. Even we discussed this Pune Sarvajanik Sabha also. Where? Deccan uprising. Exactly. Super. Very good. So you write it. Deccan uprising. It means that you studied for test. I hope up to 1857 you studied. This week I would complete the modern India. Next week try to complete it. If I completed, next week you will have modern India test 2. If you have modern India test 2, 1857 to 1947, that's all. Modern India portion is over. Thoroughly study. This is the right time to complete the modern India. Okay. So this is Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Deccan uprising. That's all. Madras Mahajan Sabha, not that much important. Bombay Presidency is not. And you come to here, these 3 people are there. These people are called Bombay Trio. Note it down. Trio. Bombay Trio are called Bombay Trinity. Trinity means 3 people. That is called Trio or Trinity. So Bombay Trio or Bombay Trinity. Feroz Mehta, Badruddin Diabji, and K.T. Telang. Especially Feroz Mehta, the most powerful person, an advocate of senior person. Even Gandhiji wanted to become Feroz Mehta. Even once Gandhiji mentioned that, when I want to become Feroz Mehta, yes, great vociferous advocate. He would thunder like a lion inside the court. Even Gandhiji mentioned, said, whenever I support to see Feroz Mehta, I started to shiver. Young barrister Gandhiji, whenever he's supposed to see one of the senior Feroz Mehta, just imagine. This is important. So these are all the regional organization, 8 regional organization. Thoroughly study the name. These are all the foundation of Indian National Congress. And last is, you see, this is not regional organization, right? Here is Indian National Union, 1885, Alan Octavian Hume, right? Under that you write, later this was named as Indian National Congress. So later this Indian National Union become Indian National Congress. Taken Indian National Union to Indian National Congress, INC. So what is the real name of Congress is Indian National Union, INU, as it was started by A.O. Hume, Alan Octavian Hume. Later it was renamed as Indian National Congress. This is the All India organization. That's why I didn't put any particular place. For others I put Calcutta, so and so, Madras, likewise. But here I never put the place because of All India organization. That's all. With this unit is over. Second unit successfully completed. And this is the transition unit. Why it is called transition unit is we studied 1861 Act. Next we have to study 1885 Indian National Congress. In between the 20 year what happened? Am I right? One side we discussed administrative changes. What, blah, blah, we discussed. Other side we discussed regional organization. Other side we discussed peasant movement. If we see peasant movement, 3 peasant movement, all the peasant movement, Indigo, 1859, Deccan Uprising, 1870s, Indigo, Pabna movement, 1870s. So 1857 to 1885 itself we discussed and covered a lot of information. Here a student would commit mistake. Even peasant movement will also come here, but I discussed earlier. So 20 years gap, just imagine. And hereafter only we are going to discuss 1885 to 1947. This part is very easy. All would answer, all would study, all would answer it, especially from the Gandhiji, Champaran, Keda, last 30 years history all would study. That's not at all a matter. Understood? This is the method of preparation. With this, successfully completed the second unit. Write the third unit. Break. Okay, 5 minutes break. Five minutes break, then we will discuss. Next is Indian National Congress, 1885 to 1947. Last 50 years of history. This is, except this, but remaining is more or less ideological oriented. So I will discuss, if you wish, if you have to simultaneously write it. Don't wait for my point, my factual information. If you seems it's interesting and concept oriented, yourself start to take notes. Started by whom? Elohim. Note it down. Started by Elohim, a retired ICS officer, British ICS. Elohim, a British, a retired ICS officer. And he was associated with Theosophical Society. Once it's a UPSC, other exam question, not civil service, other exam question. He was associated with Theosophical Society. Do you know where the concept of Indian National Congress was born? Is inside Theosophical Society. This is quite interesting. Inside Theosophical Society, that too in Adayar, that is in Madras, just a year before, 1884. This after retirement, Elohim, he was a member of Theosophical Society. You know, after retirement, your parents would join any of the club because of boring in the house. Likewise, Elohim also part of this Theosophical Society. In 1884, exactly, when he was interacting with Alcott, one of the co-founder of the Theosophical Society, Henry Alcott, in Adayar, they decided to start an organization that was originally named as Indian National Union. Later, it became Indian National Congress. This is the way you should know of Elohim. Who is Elohim? And next is where it was originated while discussing in Theosophical Society, that too in Adayar, along with his co-founder Henry Alcott. Okay, this information. Real name INU, later called INC. At the time, what's the important thing is, it's very interesting. INC, which opposed the British, but started by a British. Correct? Second thing, that too with the blessings of British government. Next point you write. That too with the blessings of the British government. Not I use the word support, even blessings, one step ahead. Support is normal, blessing is one step ahead. Blessings of the British government. That too with the Viceroy. Who was the Viceroy at the time? Is Lord Dufferin. Lord Dufferin. When INC was started, who was the Viceroy of India was Lord Dufferin. So this Viceroy supported for the formation of Indian National Congress. Even I use the word blessings of Viceroy. That was started by Indian National, that is a British person. Well, one big question. Very big question. What is a big question is, INC, which worked against the British, that was responsible for getting independence by expelling the British, but was started by British. Not only was started with the blessings of the British, that to none other than Viceroy, Basel. So why the British wanted to start Indian National Congresses? So you write it. They put forward an origin thesis. Write it. Origin thesis of INC. Origin thesis of INC. This itself is a 10-mark question. Both in GS as well as optional. This itself is a 10-mark question. What is the origin thesis from the British side is safety wall thesis. Safety wall thesis. So safety wall, this word is important. Where could you find this safety wall? A safety pin. Women, ladies would use the tiffin. Why? Here, so that the dress may not fall. Otherwise, if some boys are approaching near, punching to puncture him. Safety pin. Correct? Just I'm saying. Second thing, you might have come across safety valve in dam. Otherwise, cooker. Even in cooker also you could see the safety valve. This is the cooker. Okay? You consider my cooker. In that you could see a small hole. Don't confuse with the whistleblower. Whistleblower is different. Here near the whistleblower there is a small hole. What is the purpose of the small hole? Type. Purpose? To release the excess pressure. To release the excess pressure here. Don't confuse with whistle. Here it will be there. Why? If there is a excess pressure stream, right? If no such a hole, this top of the lid, your lid would go to the top of your ceiling of the kitchen, and it is danger for the women, those who are working in the kitchen. To avoid that, if excess pressure is created, it will whisked away, so that your pressure cooker will be safety and the surrounding people also. This is a safety valve, safety hole. So another thing, in mechanical engineering, in dam construction, there is a concept called surge gate. In mechanical engineering, you might have come across surge gate is there. What is the purpose of surge gate? Type. Any mechanical engineer? To release excess water. Exactly. If no surge gate, what would happen? Dam would burst. Excess water would give pressure. That's all. And a problem to the nearby area. That is safety valve. Here surge gate is a safety valve to avoid the excess pressure of water. Here this safety hole is that safety valve to avoid the excess pressure of the steam. Likewise, listen, here is the British government. Here is the British government. Here the people. People would give pressure. People are giving the pressure, so much of pressure to the government. Am I right? To release this pressure only, a organization was created so that who is safeguarded mean British. This is called safety valve thesis. Note it down according to you, either pressure cooker or surge gate. This is example and this is the real. So people would give pressure to INC so that INC would act as a pressure releaser and British government would be safe. The government is so safe. This is called safety valve thesis. So this is diagrammatic. You can draw like this. Even pressure cooker is also allowed, yeah. Keep it in mind, in UPSC there is no structured. You have to write like this. It's not like that. You can write caricature, but it should not criticize any people, especially government. Likewise, it should not criticize. Right, diagrammatic way definitely should be there. 20 questions are there, 8 to 9 questions diagrammatic. Store it here. Taken? Yes. For this purpose, this safety valve. Why? Listen, simply. Before 1857, no safety valve. That's why before 1857, company, people agitated. So company was toppled. Company was removed. Am I right? All the people agitated, so company was removed. Now British government helped. Another agitation happened, my government will also be toppled. No, no. I want to stop the agitation in the bottom level itself. For that, I am going to have an institution. That institution is called Indian National Congress. When A.O. Him decided to start that, British government readily accepted. Okay, now you may ask questions, sir. How would you say? How did INC pressure safety wall is? Listen. A.O. Hume started. A.O. Hume started it. After starting it, carefully listen. After starting is already regional organization leaders were there. Here Bombay, here Madras, here Bengal, regional organization leaders were there. What A.O. Hume did? G. Subramanian Iyer, Feroz Mehta, Anand Charlo, Anand Mohan Bose. Please all, you come. All are the regional leaders. All please you come and join the member of INC. In that way, he included, note it down. So after forming it, regional leaders were included into the part of INC. Note it down. Regional leaders are included into INC. Why? What is the purpose of including regional leader? Simple. If Madras people agitated, British government no need to send any other people. Through INC, G.S. Iyer would say that. People, through INC, I will interact with that government. So you don't agitate. So in regional level itself, agitation is stopped. Feroz Mehta, no, I am the representative of you. I will put forward the same thing to the government. So you don't agitate. That's why by having the regional representatives into the INC, British carefully included them. Through them, they easily handle the people so that they consider our government, British government, would be perpetuated. Even today, we have MLA, we have MP, we have municipal ward member. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of having ward member? Am I right? In corporation level. What is the purpose of MLA in legislative level? What is the purpose of MP national level type? Time pass, huh? Purpose? To represent our problem. Yeah, decentralization. Yes, to protect people interest. Exactly. Super. Very good. So to say our grievances, for example, in Anna Nagar, if there is no rail connectivity, I will go and ask my Anna Nagar MP, please, you shout inside the Lok Sabha, please, Railway Ministry sanctioned 200 crores to set up a railway station and rail connectivity to Anna Nagar, that is to Chennai northern part. If it is drainage issue, I no need to shout in Lok Sabha. I would go to local corporation. For that, my ward member is there. Bus related issue in my home, in my village, no bus. I will give representation to MLA. So through MLA, MP, people's grievances are solved. So we are happy. So we are not agitating. If no such a MLA, MP means our grievances cannot be solved, we would agitate and all would go to Delhi Prime Minister office and all the 1 crore people or 100 crore people go in front of in Delhi means what would happen? Heavy pressure. To avoid the heavy pressure only, regional leaders, representatives, the problem is solved in regional itself. This is the concept. This is called safety wall thesis. This is the origin thesis. For that purpose only, the British considered and to start and started INC. But really what happened? Next you write. Really that didn't happen. Actually, this is the way of writing for mains. I never mentioned any fact, anything. You have to write like this. But really that didn't happen. Then what happened is, listen, British wanted to perpetuate their government. For that, to protect their interest, INC was started. But what happened? Initially good relationship, write it. Initially good relationship with INC. British and INC had good relationship. Later relationship ruptured. And at last the same INC expelled the British. Expelled the British. It means that Indian never allowed INC to be the guardian of the government. Rather than Indian used INC as the lightning conductor. Write it. Lightning conductor. So British wanted to use safety valve. This is main. We effectively utilized it as a lightning conductor. What is a lightning conductor, sir? Simple. What is the purpose of lightning conductor? You can see this is a building. This is the building. Here is the lightning conductor. You could see it will be like this. If there is a heavy lightning, if there is no lightning conductor, what would happen is the building would be collapsed. To avoid that lightning conductor, right? Here, what is the building? What is the lightning is INC. What is that powerful is British government. The lightning is the British, conductor is the government. What is this building is national movement. For example, Swadeshi movement, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement. So you see that INC conducted this movement. Since INC was started by British government couldn't do anything. So by using the INC, we successfully conducted the movement. Even this lightning, British lightning couldn't do anything. This is called lightning conductor. Like this, you can write and you can draw. Draw this. So pressure cooker, building, this is the way of representation in mains. Actually for prelims you have to mug it up, somewhat mug it up the concept, but mains innovation. 2 hours if you are studying, 10 to 15 to 30 minutes you have to think how I can convert this question into answer, how I can answer in a representative way. You have to think it. At the end of the class of Modern India, you just to go through my class notes. The class note itself is the various way of writing for mains. Flowchart I have given, map I have given, table I have given, then like this photos picture I have given. Am I right? This is the various way of representing. My class notes itself is various method. Just to take it and make such an approach, diversified answer, more score, good service. Ultimate, we have to get into service. Never compromise on that. From our side, teaching wise, no compromise. From your side, studying wise, never compromise. If you compromised it, you are compromising your life actually. That's all. With this, origin of Indian National Congress is over. Okay. This is a 10-mark question. Shall we move on to that? What are all the different phases of Indian National Congress? Moderate phase, extremist phase, and next is the Gandhian phase. Each phase we are going to discuss. Today, I try to complete the moderate phase. If it possible, I just open the extremist phase. Okay. First to write moderate phase. Moderate space. What is the year? I have already given. Note it down the year. Under moderate space, 1885 to 1905. So first 20 years of Indian National Congress, it was dominated by moderates. Okay. Now we are going for template form. Like in the war, we went for template. If it is war, what are all the template? Subtopic, type it. War means 4 to 5 subtopic we have discussed. What are all that? Cause. Next. Cause alone. Next. Course of action. In course of action, what would come? Treaty. Treaty at last. Treaty. Battle. Yes. Important person. How you have already have a template. Likewise, here also we have. I am going to give a template. So under moderates, first who. Who are they? Otherwise, their names. So who are they? Otherwise, their names. Name some moderates. Type. Don't write. Just type. Just type. I already discussed, sufficiently discussed about the moderate. Just type. Don't write. Yes. Dadabhai Nauroji. Surendranath Banerjee. Then Rajagopalachari. Feroz Mehta, right? Correct. Anand Mohan Bose. Bombay Trio. Super. Surendranath Banerjee. Badruddin Diabji. Okay. Simply I can say exactly right. Yes. Thank you. You have already written, right? So many things you have already written that. Yes. Subramanian Jawaharlal Nehru. Who is that? Jawaharlal Nehru, wrong. Okay. Bishnu Chandra Biswas not at all a Congress. Okay. So Bishnu Chandra Biswas doing that, but not. Okay. C.R. Das wrong. C.R. Das is not a moderate. Subramania Iyer, Chibulungar, exactly. We already discussed. That's why I said who are moderates means simply you write it. Whoever the leaders of pre-INC leaders, you write it. Under moderates, you write. Under who names, you write all pre-INC leaders. 13 to 15 names we discussed. All are moderates. That's why I said if you know pre-INC leader, no need to by heart moderates name. Surendranath Banerjee, Anand Mohan Bose, Chipulungal, Bombay Trio, Feroz, M.G. Ranade, Subramania Iyer, Ananda Charlo, Dwaraknath Tagore, Dadabhai Nauroji, all. This is the way of method of study. Okay, if you don't know pre-INC leader, you may let into fault. Like Jawaharlal Nehru, moderates, no. C.R. Das, moderates, no. Okay, here only one person I missed. So first is all the pre-INC leader. And another person I missed it, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, GK. That alone I missed it. You write it, Gokhale. Nearly 15 leaders we discussed. Okay, all are the leader. Some from Bombay leader, some from the leader of Madras, some from leader of some other. All are leader mean who is the leader of leader. For example, today many ministers are there. Finance minister, defense minister, home. Who is the head of all minister? Who is the primemost minister? Prime minister. Likewise, so many leaders are there. Who is the head of moderates? Is you write it near Gokhale, head of moderates. Here, some student may commit mistake. Who is the head of moderates mean they may answer Dadabhai Nauroji. No, Dadabhai Nauroji was not the head. So head of the moderates is G.K. Gokhale. Okay, who is over? Second subtopic is aim. Aim. In that aim, you split into two. You split into two. First is here you write what were the aim. What were the aim? Here you write what were not aim. Here what were the aim and here what were not aim. Yes. What were the aim? Type. If you know, try to answer. No, what were aim? I'm asking aim, yeah. Independence, wrong. Then representation, correct. Then legislative council, good. Then equal treatment, super. Super, yeah. Already you studied. I think hereafter only implementation of law, super. Then what is not their aim? Independence was the aim of the moderates? No. So keep it in mind. Independence was not the aim. Purna Swaraj was not the aim. Even Swaraj was not the aim. So first I will discuss of what was not the aim. Then I come to what was the aim. So you write it. Under not aim you write Swaraj. Swaraj was not aim. So Swaraj was not aim. What is Swaraj? Is self-government. Self-government within British Raj. That was not aim. Okay. Then what was not aim? Purna Swaraj. That was also not aim. Swaraj was not the aim, as well as Purna Swaraj was not the aim. Purna Swaraj means complete independence. Complete independence. Then what were the aims are? Swaraj means, keep it in mind, Swaraj is different, Purna Swaraj is different. Swaraj means self-government. Dominion status. Swaraj. That was not the aim. Okay. Then Purna Swaraj, no, Purna Swaraj was not also not the aim. Then what is the thing? Then are they nationalist? Yes. Then what were the aim? Now you come to the aim side. First point is legislative reform. First point, note it down. Legislative reform. What is legislative reform? More Indians to be included into CLA and PLA. More Indian to be included into CLA and PLA. Okay. What is CLA? What is PLA? Type. Central Legislative Assembly. In central level, it is called Central Legislative Assembly. PLA means Provincial Legislative Assembly. Central Legislative Assembly 1853 onwards. Provincial Legislative Assembly, if you see 1861, that is Governor and Executive Council, Indians were included for law making purpose. So they wanted more member in Lok Sabha, they wanted more member in State Legislative Assembly. That is called legislative. That 6 to 10 members were there, very less here. 30 crore Indians were there, but you added just 6 to 10 member. No, you add 100 member, you add 200 member. Likewise, here they wanted legislative reform by including more Indians into central level as well as in provincial level. So that's why Central Legislative Assembly, here Provincial Legislative Assembly. Provinces, one or many means many PA province, so PLAs, that is the right plural form. Plural form. So first legislative measure is over. Second, executive measure, right? So first is legislative measure, second they want executive measure. What is the executive measure? Indian to be included into Viceroy's Executive Council. Indian to be included into Viceroy's Executive Council. Here for what purpose? Law making or law implementation? Type it. law implementation purpose. So here is for law making more Indian, here for law implementation more Indians. So first legislative measure they want, second they want executive measure or executive reform. Law implementation, exactly. Okay, third is civil service reform. These were the aim. They want law making reform, law execution reform, civil services reform. Civil services reform. What is civil services reform? Same point. Exam to be held in India. Note it down. Exam to be held in India. Age limit should be increased. Age limit should be increased. Okay? Yes. So these are all the measures they want. These were the aim. You see that some wanted MP, some wanted MLA, and some wanted ICS officer, and no one wanted to get Swaraj, and no one wanted to get Purna Swaraj. This is what the aim of the moderates. Okay, so first who were they? Over. Aim over. To attain the aim, what is the next? Is so who is over? Next aim is over. Third, method of struggle. Method of struggle. Yes. So aim is different, method of struggle is different. I ask here, one person is there. Supriyo, only name I knew here because no one is other people. At least other batch few students would come on camera, but here no one is there. Okay. So my only and many and camera and phone number alone is there, not even their names. Okay. Supriyo is there. I asked Supriyo, what is your aim, Supriyo? I ask it. Want to become IAS. Okay. What is your method of struggle? Attending class, sir. Method of struggle. Second method of struggle is studying, sir. Method of struggle. Next is attending test. So aim is different. Method of struggle is different. Okay. Here, what is the method of struggle of the moderates is 3 P's. Note it down. Write it in separate page. Method of struggle is 3 P's. What is the 3P? Is prayer, petition. Third is protest. Protest or persuasion. This is the 3P concept. Yes. Prayer, petition, protest. What is the meaning of prayer? Type. What is requesting? Requesting wrong. Fulfill our wish wrong. Request wrong. Prayer means what? Yeah. Wish is different. Appeasing, yes. Appeasing is right. One person asking worship, super, exactly word. Shia number 20025, exactly right. Super. Religious doctrine, okay. Peaceful gathering with, that is not, okay. Peaceful gathering with a purpose, prayer. Asking for is wrong. Then what is petition? Pleading is the, pleading, last student, pleading, okay. So what is prayer? Devotion, super, that is also right. Devotion is right. Asking for is wrong. Pricing them, exact word, Shia 2038447. That is the exact answer. So what is prayer is pricing. Okay, pricing is the prayer, exactly, simple. Before entering into prayer, petition and protest in the Congress, just imagine you are going to temple. You are going to temple or church or mosque. First prayer or petition. Type. You are going to your religious institution, temple or mosque. What is the first prayer or petition? Prayer. Okay, what is prayer? So you are going to your religious. What is prayer? Yes, slogan, gratitude, praising the Lord. Exactly. Pratana. And praising the God. Praising the God is right. So what is prayer in religious institution is praising the God. For example, if you are entering into temple, just imagine, right, of this, first what you do when you are seeing the God, immediately would you say that, oh God, make me as an IAS officer? No. First what you do, one big namaskar. Oh God, you are for me. Even some people would not in front of the sanctum sanctorium idol. Even if they supposed to see the temple 5 kilometers before, at the time itself, big namaskar. Especially the Tirupati. If you go to Tirupati, even you have to climb up. After the toll is over, in between two mountains, the Gobara would be there. At the time itself, they would put namaskar. Yes, I am coming. Have you seen that? And even in the Tirupati, if you are in the queue, it will be taken 3 hours, 4 hours. In between gap, they started to go in the, started to shout. After 2 to 3 hours only, they have to meet the God. So what is prayer mean? Praising the God. Am I right? Oh God, you are like this. Oh Elugundalavada, you write like this. What is the thing? God is praised and God would be in agitated, very happy. Even some people would dedicate banana, coconut, cycle agarbatti, am I right? Camphor. So good smell, God is like this, agitated. And then God would say, son, what do you want? Then only you will go for petition. Oh God, please make me as an IAS officer. It may be a oral petition or it may be a written petition. Am I right? So petition is that. Okay. So what is prayer? Pricing. Pricing. What is petition? What you wish. What you want. That is called petition. What is protest? Third. First time going to Tirupati before preliminary exam. Please, first attempt itself become IAS officer. First attempt ho gaya. Failed. Second, before second attempt also going to Tirupati. Please, at least this time I want to become IAS officer. This time also ho gaya, flop. Third time also flop. Fourth time, hereafter I would not come to Tirupati. Why should I come to Tirupati? Am I right? I am going to change God. I am going to Sabarimala. So they may change temple. They may change God. Sometimes they may change religion itself. No, hereafter no temple. Straight away church. Am I right? These are all, what one is protest. Protesting against the God or persuasion. If not this God, another God. So this is that relationship between God and devotee. Likewise, you put the same relationship. Here, who is the God is British government. Who is the devotee is INC, that is a moderate. So with this, you have to see what is prayer is praising the British government. No, do you know? Praising the British government. Okay. So what is here is, oh British government, you are great. Crown, very good, beautiful, king, handsome, not only king and crown, their son and daughter, very beautiful, long life. British crown is blessing. Likewise, they always praised the government. Why praised it? After praising, they will give the petition. Write it. After 10 to 15 minutes pricing, please look after our petition. What is the petition? Is demand. Demand. What is the demand? Is aim. Aim. Put forward their aim. 2018 15 mark question I am discussing. 18th question or 17th question is exclusively of the moderates. Actually, this area normally a student would never study, but never understand. Examiner would ask question from this area because they have to eliminate you. Keep it in mind. They have to eliminate. Elimination process is going on. I already said in that. I think I already told. I'm right. Elimination process. UPSC always wanted to eliminate you. So here, demand, aim. That is a petition. They would write the petition. Civil service reform, please do it. Legislative reform, please do it. Executive reform, please do it. They would write it and they would send it to Viceroy. So you write it. Sending their demand to Viceroy. SOS. Demand to Viceroy. SOS. To British Parliament. Every time they wasted the paper and sent it. But what the British did it? Never read it. Never took action. Not once, twice, thrice. So many times they put petition after petition. So many petition they put it. Got it? So many petition. At last they got tension. No, hereafter no petition. Let us go for protest. What is protest? Is constitutional protest. Write it. Constitutional protest. Protest. Constitutional protest means peaceful. Very peaceful protest. Because even our constitution provided for peaceful protest. Very, very peaceful. Even no hartal. I am not at all saying hartal. Hartal concept is the extremist concept. Okay, that old people, Dadabhai Nauroji, Anand Mohan Bose, they would try to work. And we want to meet Viceroy. We want to meet SYS. Government official. No, SYS, you can't meet it. Okay, we will come tomorrow. Next, tomorrow also they would go. SYS not there. He is in meeting. Okay, we will come tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. This is what they did it. This is called 3 Ps. This is very important. This is a method of struggle, not 1 year or 2 years, that they did it for 20 years. 20 years they did it. Now you say, it's a mild protest or wild protest? It's a wild form of method or mild form of method? Type. Mild, very mild. It's a extreme or gradualist. Mild, am I right? It's not wild, it's a very mild. It's a gradualist or extremist. Very gradual. That's why they are called moderates. Because they function like a moderate. So what is another name of moderates? Go to the topic of moderates, you write. Also called gradualist. The moderates topic, you write it down. Also called gradualist. Okay, this is what? This was criticized by extremist. Note it down. This 3P was criticized by extremist at begging. So simply begging. This is considered as begging, and this is what considered as mendicancy. Mendicancy means also begging. So it's a mendicancy. This word is exactly used in 2018 question paper. Mendicancy. I am not at all discussing anything outside the chapters. We don't have time. Okay, this is called political mendicancy. Okay, sir, method of struggle. Sir, if this is the beginning, sir, Dharma Prabhu, please give political measure. What British would do? Would never done anything. If it is a method, any achievement? Normally, did we get any achievement? Normally, did we expect any achievement? Yes. Within this limited method of struggle itself, they had achievements. Last topic you write is, that is 3P is over. This is a third and fourth template is achievements. Fourth is achievements. What were the achievements, sir? First point. Yes, in the 20 years they had achievements. With the limited method of struggle they had. First is, they were the founding fathers of INC. They are the founding fathers of INC. Yes, what else do you want? INC to even today, 2020 also INC is there. 150-year-old party. Many parties in between gap came and left and buried. But INC till the date it's a ruling party in some state, and earlier it was ruling party in central government. 150 years, if a party sustain means strong foundation is laid down. That's why even today its building is strong. First basement should be strong, then only the building. Understood? So they are the founding father of INC. Not only the founding father. Second, they are the founding father of national movement. And then what else do you want, sir? If these people were not there, if they people didn't carefully rise the INC, no Gandhiji. Gandhiji when came to take INC, at the time INC became a mature boy. Already became a very famous institution. Gandhiji effectively utilized it. Because of Gandhiji, INC is not famous. Because of INC, Gandhiji became famous. I would say like that. Because both used it. Gandhiji used INC, already as very important organization. INC also successfully used Gandhiji to rise its wings. But these were the founding fathers. And the third point, they exposed the true nature of British rule in India. They exposed the true nature of British rule in India. Yes. What was the exposure? What way they exposed the true nature of British rule? Type. This away. Type. Yes. Drain of wealth. Exactly. Exact thing is drain of wealth. Revenue. Yes. Economic critic. Super. Monetary slavery. Exactly right. So by exposing drain of wealth, continue the point. They exposed the nature of British rule by exposing drain of wealth. And who was the first to expose the drain of wealth? Dadabhai Naoroji. Write it. Under that you write Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji in his book. These books, please by heart it. What is the book name of Dadabhai Naoroji? Is Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Un-British Rule. So Dadabhai Naoroji book. So first Dadabhai Naoroji book. Next important person who also exposed British drain of wealth is R.C. Dutt. R.C. Dutt. First Dadabhai Naoroji, his book. Second person R.C. Dutt. His book name is Economic History of India. These are all ready-made answer for prelims and mains. Economic History of India. Third is M.G. Ranade. Fourth, G. Subramania Iyer. 2017 preliminary question. As such, they asked all the four personality who were that national leader criticized economic of the British. All are answer 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Dada Banerjee, his book. R.C. Dutt, book, his book. M.G. Ranade, no book. He also criticized. It may be newspaper or article. Subramania Iyer mean he criticized in his newspaper, through his newspaper Hindu. Through his newspaper Hindu, he criticized. Taken? Then what else do you want, sir? They were the earliest people to criticize it. So this is a third. And the fourth achievement is because of their pressure. Whose pressure? Moderates pressure. Because of their moderates pressure, government passed an act. Government passed an act. What is the name of the act? Is Indian Council Act 1892. Indian Council Act 1892. Taken? So this act passed due to the council. So how would you say Indian Council Act was a success of achievements of the moderates? We will discuss the provision. If we discuss the provision of that Indian Council Act, yes. These were already asked by ANC that were included into the Council Act. I will complete this act alone. Just 2 points. With this, we shall wind up the today's class. And afternoon, we shall have a discussion of the question paper. 2:30, 2:30. I'll bring it so that we will discuss of the question paper, right? Better to discuss whatever the question you have the doubt, because many questions are direct question. You can easily answer. Even answer is also published it. What question do you find difficult? So you mark it. We will discuss. So each page 1, page 2, page 3, any doubt, I will ask it. Accordingly, we will page wise discussion rather than question wise discussion. Answer is already published to you also. Right, so 2:30 to 3:30 or 4 o'clock, be there. We will discuss of this. I will tell extra information also. So 1892. What are all the provisions of the 1892? First point, you write 10 to 16. 10 to 16. More members were included into CLA. Were included into CLA. If it is CLA means that is for what purpose? For what purpose? Law making purpose. No need to write, no need to write again and again. Viceroy Executive Council 10 to 16 more members were included for law making, because such a body is called law CLA. So it is called the rate CLA. You see that already we discussed here. Here 1853 Act 3 to 4 people. So 4 people included 9. 1861 6 to 10 8 people. Already 17 people. This 1892 Act said that apart from 17, you could include minimum 10, maximum 16. You consider 13 members were included. Means now what is the strength of CLA? Is 30. That is exclusively for law making. Law implementation wise, not even a single Indian. This is important. Taken? So for law making, law making alone, this Indians were included. That is called CLA. Right. Next point is first time election system was introduced. Election system was introduced. Earlier, all were nominated. All the members were nominated. Election system was introduced. But what kind of election system is indirect election system? Underline the word. Indirect election system. Okay. Nowadays, we are electing our Lok Sabha MP directly. We are electing our state legislative MLA directly. But 1892 Act wise, MLA MPs were elected indirectly. Understood? This is very important. So you see that these were the demands. More Indians to be included. Yes, included. Earlier nomination. Here what happened? Election. But election is indirect. What way? We don't want. Understood? Then what else we want? These are all the demands. Next point. You're right. Another point I missed it. Similarly, more Indians were included. Into various PLAs. PLA is many, so plural form. Plural form. Don't put apostrophe. This is wrong. Plural form is this. This is the plural form. PLAs. This is right. What is the number? Don't want, because each Madras, Bombay, in each number of member differs. These are all these success. That way we discussed 1885 to 1905. 20 years politics we discussed. Keep it in mind. Normally here a student would discuss commit problem 1858 to 1885. This we discussed, and we discussed 1885 to 1905. So likewise you have to study actually. Hereafter Swadeshi movement, home rule, Bhagat Singh, the non-cooperation, this is okay. This is a very well known. Right. And next, moderates over. Next to open the topic, extremist. Extremist, 1905 to 1917. 1905 to 1917. That we will discuss a day after tomorrow. Any doubts? Nine on 7.
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, you said that Government of Indian Act 1852. Last class, you said the other name for it. I mean, we can call it as Better Government of Indian Act 1857.
58.
58, sir.
Government of India Act 1858 or Better Government of India Act 1858.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. That's what I got confused.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
One 186.
Hello, Ji.
Yes.
Ji, by 1858, the crown have taken over the India. The company have lost its full power, even commercial and political. And in 1870s, the company itself was dissolved in London. Then who was taking care of the commercial functions that was happening in India, and who still India was being exploited, or what?
Already company lost commercial monopoly. In 1883 onwards, all the company could come to India. So 1833 itself, any company could come to India. That is commercial activity wise already open to all the company. 1858 commercial activities is not at all touched. Only political activities touched. Commercial activity is already going on. Here we discussed only political wise. Commercial wise already discussed 1833 itself.
So that means when after 1870s, new companies came and they were also exploiting India.
Yeah. Any company could.
Okay. Is there any in any of this act there is any trade regulations or something like that? We all talk about political things in the Charter Act, Indian Council Act. Is there any trade regulation act or acts for helping people in India?
No.
In economical regard, no.
Trade regulations happened. That too, they manipulated the trade for only for the welfare of the British trader, British industries. They never allowed Indian industry to develop, so that to avoid competition with the British industry. They never developed the Indian trader, so that the British trader could exploit the Indian market. So they did the trade regulations only for the welfare of the British, even during company period as well as crown period also.
Okay, thank you. That was my thank you.
Hmm? 5 to 8.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, while doing the decentralization of power in Madras and Bombay province, who were the governors, sir? Is that important? Or
Who were they?
governor of Madras, governor of Bombay at that time?
No need of their name.
Okay. And while passing the 1892 Indian Council Act, we didn't receive the law executive power, law implementation power itself, sir, because the aim of the moderates is also to have the executive measures.
Exactly. Only part of their demand alone, aim was alone fulfilled, not the remaining. Not all.
In both PLA and CLA, only for law making alone, they were being included.
Exactly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's my all.
Zero 024 024. Next. 955.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you explain about the power, how the Viceroy power is differs from Governor General power, sir?
No. Power wise one and the same. Simple. Who is Governor General mean who is governing India is called Governor General. That's all. Who is Viceroy means whoever is considered as representative of Crown is Viceroy. That's the only difference. Whenever he is acting as a Viceroy post, he is the representative of Crown. Whenever he is functioning as the authority of India, he is called Governor General. But what we are doing normally from 1858 onwards, we simply use the word Viceroy. We are not at all using Governor General.
Okay, sir. Sir, you said about a Viceroy can implement his own decision without any limitation, but he was accountable to the Crown, no, sir. That means SOS.
Yes, he is accountable to SOS. SOS, a cabinet member, he is accountable to PM. PM in turn accountable to Crown, and PM in accountable to Parliament. Likewise, Parliament and Crown checked the company, checked the Indian government through these officers, subordinate.
Okay, sir. Sir, my second doubt is the aim of moderates is to implement the civil service exam to held in India, and also increase the age limit of the civil service exam. Previous class, from previous class, the civil service exam held in 1923, I think. But if the age limit increased, sir?
That I have to discuss. I am not aware exactly age limit was increased. Definitely it would have been increased, but which year I don't know. Definitely it should have been increased.
Oh, okay, sir. That is during the moderates period or extremist or some
Don't
period,
know.
sir.
Exactly I don't know.
Okay, sir. Sir, my third doubt is you said the relationship between the INC has ruptured. So it's ruptured during which period, sir? Actually,
Come again, your question.
INC and British relationship has been ruptured during certain period. You said, sir. Which periods are actually?
Extremist period onwards started to rupture.
But during this period, the protest also has been there, no, sir.
No,
So we can take it.
normal. Actually, many are thinking wrong. Common man. Protest mean you have to throw stone, you have to beat. That is not the protest. That is one of the way of protest. Protest means if you are protesting with your parents, you would not beat your parents. You would not talk to your parents. That is also protest. You would not eat in your house. That is also protest. Protest can be violent protest. Protest can be silent protest. Protest can be a
Hello.
dumb protest. Got it? Here, don't confuse with the protest. Protest means not necessarily to be violent. Understood? Even if your girlfriend is there, what is protest?
Sir.
Not making a call. That is also a protest. You no need to slap on the face of the girlfriend or boyfriend. I'm saying. Got it? Yes. Next.
Okay, sir. So actually, my connection has been lost, sir. Sir, actually, my connection has been lost. Can you repeat the last part, sir? Actually, the protest part.
Protest means it may be violent or silent. You can do silent wise also protest. Your connection is very poor.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sir. That's my doubt, sir. Actually, I have a very poor connection, sir. Actually, I have a very poor connection, sir. So
Yes.
that's only, sir.
Yes. Next.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat the provisions of Viceroy under the 1861 Act, sir?
What point?
Hello, sir.
Yes. What point?
Sir, can you repeat on the provisions of Viceroy under the 1861 Act, sir?
What point of
Sir,
Viceroy?
sir, sir, decisions and you said some portfolios, right, sir?
Yes.
I missed it, sir. Actually, I didn't. Yes, sir.
Viceroy can take any measure for
Sir.
daily administration of the business government. So he can take any measures for administrative purpose. That's why I said. Then I ask you to write within bracket. By using this power, Viceroy Lord Canning introduced a portfolio system.
Yes, sir.
Right. That's the point. Of the Viceroys can take any kind of measures. Unlimited power is given to Viceroy. Portfolio means giving finance. Even today, finance portfolio, defense portfolio means defense ministry, finance ministry. So in India, cabinet form of government or portfolio form of government was started as per 1861.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my doubt is, sir, you said that before 1857, a large number of soldiers were in Awadh region and Bihar region. Could the revenue system be an impact, sir? Because most of the peasants would have lost their land due to the tough revenue system. That is the reason they joined the army. So could that be also taken as a
Yeah,
factor,
definitely.
sir?
Yes, that's also one of the reason. So many lost the land. Only thing is job opportunity. Even today, whenever you don't have a land, you have to study and you have to become an employee. Otherwise, you can become a landlord. The same way. Correct. Exactly right.
Sir, my another doubt is, sir, you said that the different types of regimentation the British took after the 1857 revolt, that can also be treated as a success factor, no, sir, because the casualties would reduce because since they are in their region, they won't be deported to any other place. So the casualties would reduce, unnecessary casualties would reduce. Could that be taken like that, sir?
Okay. But that's the other side. Casualties is reduced, but that's weightage is very less when compared to what is the aim is if more British were included means they could avoid another 1857 like revolt because many
Okay,
of were Indian. That's why they easily overpowered the British in a regiment. So 1857 revolt. British were very clever that even though British died in the war field, that doesn't matter. But we don't want another 1857 like revolt. That is a major reason why more British were included after 1857.
yes, sir. Sir, and my another doubt is, sir, uh, eight, uh, from the experience of 1857, British wanted to prevent the spread of nationalism by putting an organization like INC. They're again starting nationalism concept, no, sir. Didn't the British realize that, or
No,
they thought that violence only can lead to success? Like that, can that be interpreted, sir?
yes, exactly right. Actually, their intention is not to raise nationalism in the name of All India platform. They never accepted and they never intended. That is a side effect of INC. By means of INC, they wanted to perpetuate the British government, but the side effect is nationalism. Side effect overpowered the main effect.
Yes, sir. Sir, sir, and my final doubt is, sir, regional leaders were incorporated from various regions. You said no, sir. So that means different region leaders would have different priorities. How could they not tussle in the INC, sir? Some of them could boss over the other. Could that lead to a split, no, sir? Then how come this survives, sir?
That happened in 1907. We are in 1905. 1907 Surat split. There was it's like a fist fight, chapel fight happened, and they started to punch each other. One could see that nose from the right, blood from the nose. That happened in 1907. That we will discuss. That's normal. If so many leaders are
Yes,
within things, problem happened. We will discuss.
sir. Sir, my network is sometimes getting disrupted. So the test session video would be recorded and censored.
We will see whether it will, if it's recorded as per administrative policy, whether they are sending or not, because I can't take decision. I will come and discuss this. If it is over, I will tell them. If it's okay, they will send.
Thank you so much.
I will inform administration. Right. Open when you're ready.
Hello, sir.
Yes, 9-4.
Sir, is law execution powers different from administrative powers, or are they both the same?
Both. Law execution, administration is one. Law execution is the topmost administrative measure. Below that, so many
Okay.
administrative measures are there. So many people.
Okay.
Cabinet member is also law executor. Collector is also law executor. Tahsildar is also law executor, administrative. VAO is also administrator. All are called law executor, but different hierarchy, different power.
Okay. So, but we are asking only the position in the executive council of the viceroy, the
Top level of
topmost.
we are discussing, not in other level.
Okay. In other levels, Indians were already present, sir.
Indians were as well as British were also level. Because ICS wise topmost, another topmost, so major British. But local level, Gumasta, small post, Indians were appointed. But we are discussing only in cabinet form. Central level alone we are discussing.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, hi, sir. Sir, can you please explain the constitutional protest? I'm able to understand what is meaning of protest, but what is the exact meaning of constitutional protest?
Actually, the word I cannot use. I should have avoided here. After polity class is over, yourself would come to know. If you see in our constitution, Article 19 says you can go for peaceful protest without taking weapon. That is what today we do have exact our constitution says. So whenever you come to know constitutional protest means peaceful protest without weapon. That is the meaning of common meaning of constitutional protest.
Okay. So one more doubt, sir. So what is the constituency name for Dadabhai's London? You said something called Salisbury, no, sir?
Salisbury.
Sir, but when I saw in Google, it was showing it as Finsbury, which is a correct word, sir.
Salisbury. Okay, I will check it. Whether Salisbury or Salisbury, I will check it.
Okay, sir. So one more last doubt, sir. Is the political medicancy was a name given for criticism?
Criticism. It's not actual. It's a criticism of extremist. That word given by extremist to attack moderates.
Because these moderates keep on reading the British.
Yes, the moderates were not liked by extremists. So extremists targeted moderates by means of political mendicancy. That is begging.
Okay, so once again, sir. So constitutional protest means protest without using weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, my first doubt is regarding Ahom revolt, sir. Sir, was that a native ruler revolt or tribal revolt? Because Ahoms are considered as tribes now, sir. So I have a confusion regarding that.
Your connection is bad, actually. Your connection is too bad.
So now can you hear me?
Yes.
So now can you hear?
Yes, yes.
My doubt is regarding Ahom revolt. Ahoms are considered as tribes, no, sir. So wasn't it a tribal uprising?
No, actually, Ahom we can't consider as a. Actually, Ahom once upon it, two kind of mention. One is Ahom tribes, so it's mentioned as a tribal revolt. At the same time, Ahom ruled that area. In that way, it is considered as native rulers revolt also. So tribal people ruled that area. So you can write as a tribal revolt as well as a non-tribal revolt also. In both, you could include Ahom.
Okay, sir. Sir, then it occurred after the first Anglo-Burmese war, no, sir. And there was territorial was the cause, territorial withdrawal. Sir, so was it related to the Treaty of Yandabu? So does it have association with this revolt?
Your voice is very connection is very. I'm getting it, but I'm getting bit by bit.
So now can you hear?
I can hear, but very poor connectivity.
Sir, now is it audible?
Yes, it's audible.
Okay. Sir, I'm asking after first, it is told that Ahom rebellion took after first Anglo-Burmese war.
You do one thing. Wait, you disconnect it and come back. Wait.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding this handicraft industry, sir. This handicraft industry was crushed by British, no, sir. And in causes of 1851 revolt, we were talking about that.
Okay.
Means deindustrialization, that point, sir. So, may I know the reason for that, sir?
What reason?
That crushing of handicraft industries.
That's right.
or indigenous industries?
Then in Britain, industrial revolution was started. So machine was started. Machine age. They simply dumped their finished goods in India. So competition, because of no match to compete with that British industry, our industries, our market started to collapse, and the British thrived in our market.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. Regarding this Dadabhai Nauroji, he was an MP from that Salisbury province, no, sir? Constituency, right? That is from the UK. How come he can contest there, sir? Is Indian know how they will vote?
He was an Indian, but at the time, India itself was under the British Raj. So we are also the citizens of British government. We are also the citizen of British Crown. In that sense, we can contest there also.
We can contest it, but who will vote? Sir? But British people only will vote. No, Indians were not allowed to vote, right?
That is British people should vote. Indians were not allowed. If you are contesting in Salisbury, means Salisbury people should vote, and elected him.
So the British people, citizens trusted him, and they voted like that, sir.
Yes, that citizen voted, elected Dadabhai Nauroji.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir, got it. And one more doubt, sir, regarding this Governor General, do we have to make that list or just incidentally is enough, sir? Chronological order of Governor General or Viceroy.
And whatever the Governor General, I purpose the classroom, you thoroughly study that Governor.
Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir, regarding this industrial revolution in European countries, but not in India. So can I take it like Indians were slightly inclined towards art and culture, but not science because of frequent invasions and mix of foreign elements in India?
You can take like that.
Can I take like that, sir? Because of that?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, who was the first SOS of India, sir?
Charles Woods.
Sir, when I typed in the internet, it was given Lord Stanley, sir.
Lord?
Stanley, sir.
Then wait. I will also check it. Wednesday.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Charles Woods. Okay, I will check. Okay, right.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, now am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, my second doubt was, sir, the home rebellion took place after first Anglo-Burmese war, no, sir. So was it because of the consequence of the Treaty of Yanbu?
Exactly, correct. Exactly, Yandabu happened immediately after that, because the after Yandabu, the entire Ahom territory was taken by the British. So Ahoms consider we lost our culture, we lost our land to the British. So they started to revolt against British. Exactly right.
Okay, sir. Sir, then my next doubt, sir, regarding Kittur uprising, you told it was annexed by doctrine of misgovernance, no, sir? But I happened to watch a documentary on Kittur Chennamma. In that, it was told that her husband and son both died, and she adopted his son and made it her. And this angered the British. Only that was shown in the documentary, sir. So was it misgovernance or doctrine of lapse? So I had a doubt when I saw that.
What I have given, misgovernance or doctrine of lapse, I have given in book.
Misgovernance, sir. Misgovernance.
Okay, I will tell. Then I will tell. This also I will tell. Whether doctrine of lapse or misgovernance, I will tell you. Okay.
Okay, sir. So my doubt is regarding optional. So for optional also, are all the revolts that are given in spectrum book important? Means all the revolts we have to learn.
Optional book, no need to study all the revolt. Even for prelims, 8 or 9 revolt. For mains, optional, even 5 is more than enough. For prelims alone, you
Okay,
have
sir. I mean important ones like that Wahhabi movement and Palestine, so many like that. Not
no,
all the minor revolts are needed, right?
no need to study. For prelims
Oh,
alone, they
okay, sir.
ask like this. For mains, optional, they would never ask like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.